Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of General Geekery. With me, as always, is JD, and we were just in the middle
Hello.
of arguing which is better on Starship Troopers, the book or the movie, and we are not agreed on this.
Oh, we are not. Uh,
I say the book was good. I'm Robert Heinlein, one of the godfathers of sci-fi.
I tried reading the book. It was too different from the movie.
I remember seeing the pre-productions. The very first convention I went to, I went to this convention with this gal that I was trying to hook up with way before I met Emily. That's the first time I met Jeremy Bullock and got my first figure autographed. They had the behind the scenes pre-production stuff for Starship Troopers. They showed it at the convention and it looked horrible, and it was horrible.
That had to have been what, 1996?
Yes, because I was still in
Because
EMT school, and that was the year I got my EMT. So yeah, probably 95 or 96. Probably 95, because I don't think I was an EMT yet. Because she was and I wasn't. I was trying to hook up.
okay, because the movie, yeah, because the movie was released in '97. I know because I went to go see it twice. Um, Not the same day or anything, but
Regardless.
yeah, because I was a senior in high school, and the movie theater was in the same shopping center that the Sears that I worked in
Ah,
was, and the Toys R Us that I would shop in
right.
on my lunch break from Sears. And as depressing as it is, as I understand it now, that entire shopping center no longer exists.
Doesn't surprise
Um,
me.
yeah, everything. Yeah, apparently they have a whole new structure over there. So,
Yeah, one of the
I mean,
places I
this was
used
in
to go
Thousand
get
Oaks,
toys.
California.
One of the places I used to go get toys, they turned it into an apartment or an apartment complex now.
Um,
Leveled the
yeah,
Kmart,
because
turned it into apartment complexes.
the the Kmart here has just been turned or has recently been turned into one of those self-storage facilities. It's depressing.
The other one
Um,
the other one here that I used to go get shot, used to shop for 25th anniversary GI Joes, and I liked going there because they had a Little Caesars inside, and I fucking love Crazy Bread.
oh,
So they turned it into a gym. It's a Vasa Health or whatever they call that. I'm like, that's depressing. I used to go here to get
yeah. I mean,
toys, candy, and Crazy Bread, and now it's bench presses and treadmills.
I
Hail Hydra.
now my senior year of high school, we were in Thousand Oaks, California, and I haven't been back there for like 15 years. But yeah, as I understand it, um, some of the places we used to hang out with just don't exist anymore.
It's
But
sad.
oh, so it goes. Um, but yeah, I saw Starship Troopers, and I love it. It's fun. It's dumb.
I'll agree to that last
It's
part for
clearly
sure.
directed by the same guy, huh?
I'll agree to that last part for sure.
Um, yeah, the it's very clearly directed by the same guy who directed RoboCop, and I love it for the same reason.
Yeah, okay, I liked RoboCop
It's
a lot.
it's fun commentary on society as as what if things were actually worse than they are, and let's laugh at the absurdities of just things of just how bad things could get. Meanwhile, inside we're saying, God, I hope it never actually gets that bad.
Yeah, all right. Fair point. I'll give you that. I'll give you that. Let's see what other we were talking about some other movies recently. JD gave me his set me up with a profile on Hulu, so I watched Prey the other day. the most recent Predator movie, and I had zero expectations of that after watching the Shane Black movie, or not the Shane Black movie, the Predators with Adrian Brody, which I was able to get through. It wasn't too bad. It wasn't as bad as people said. Uh, and then could not finish The Predator, which was the 2018 movie, um, with God, Olivia Munn of all fucking people. I mean, when I saw that she was in it, I'm like, okay, this is gonna just suck ass.
Psylocke?
Yes.
Like, she played Psylocke in one of the X-Men movies, right?
Yeah, Apocalypse.
Yeah, she's hot, but yeah, she's
She
hot, but
is.
I
No,
don't
she's a
know.
good looker, but I mean, she's a horrible
Yeah,
actor.
that's what, like, she's hot, but what was she playing in The Predator? I mean, the wait, this is the
A
movie that was directed by
scientist.
Shane Black, too, right?
Scientist. She was playing a scientist.
Oh,
Like, okay, I cannot
all
say.
right.
I can suspend disbelief only to a certain point. Olivia Munn is a scientist. No, that's too far off.
One of my favorite actors is Nicolas Cage, and one of my favorite things to watch him in is when he's playing a character who's doing a job that Nicolas Cage could never actually do and playing the shit out of it. There was a movie he made called Knowing that was going to be about the world coming to an end because there was an asteroid coming. And in that movie, I think he played an astrophysicist. And like in The Rock,
Yeah,
when he goes back and he plays like a nuclear scientist or whatever, and I'm just like, what the fuck possessed them to put Nicolas Cage in this movie? Plus, nobody plays crazy quite like he does.
I will agree. I
Um,
like Nicolas Cage a lot.
yeah, me too. But like whenever he plays the scientist, I just basically go, all right, let's watch this shit.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
um,
I could not finish the 2018 The Predators movie. However,
that was directed by Shane Black,
that
right?
was the Shane Black movie.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one. I haven't even tried to watch that, but I other than Lethal Weapon, I'm pretty sure Brian and I have mutual loathing for Shane Black. So,
Shane
um,
Black did Lethal Weapon?
yes, he did.
No way.
Yes, he fucking did.
I'm gonna have to
He
fucking
did the
look
first.
that up because that does not track to me. Because I fucking love Lethal Weapon. I just made customs from Lethal Weapon a
Yeah,
couple of weeks ago.
Lethal Weapon's awesome. I
Yeah,
like all four of the Lethal Weapon movies.
yeah,
Um,
I do too. I will.
I really
Lethal
hope.
Weapon 4 was kind of jumped the shark for me, but definitely the first three are just fucking killer. It's one
I
of
love the fourth
watching the
movie.
first Lethal Weapon movie is like one of the few good memories I have of my dad.
Hey, at least you have some good memories of him.
Yeah,
Um,
but that's like one of the only good memories I have of my dad is watching that Lethal Weapon movie, the first one.
um, the the yeah, I love the fourth Lethal Weapon while acknowledging that it feels almost like it feels like they waited as long as they did to make it, but it makes me grateful that it was the last sequel because they're still talking about doing a fifth one.
I think they are going to do a
Stop
fifth one.
this. Yeah. I'm going to believe it when it actually happens. And I'm definitely going to watch it if it happens.
Yeah, I will too.
Meanwhile, I'm thinking to myself, I don't think this really needs to happen.
I
But
don't think it needs to
whatever.
happen, but from what I understand, is it's gonna happen. Sounds like Mel Gibson's on his meds, and they're gonna fucking go and do it.
Yeah, that guy needs to be medicated. So let's hope. Um, but hold on. Jesus. Anyways, so
Pray. Yeah, I thought it was
yeah,
great. I thought the cinematography was awesome. It looked like I think they said they shot it up in like Alberta, Canada, but I mean it looked like it could have been right here in Colorado. So, I mean, I was like that was awesome. I really thought it was a good movie. I thought they did a good job with everything. I loved the dog in the movie.
if anybody hasn't seen it, this movie, it took place in what, the
1700s.
1700s? Yeah, in it was in colonial America, but not where, like, it was in North America, but it was still it was just the natives,
Yeah,
and the predator lands, and well, chaos ensues as happens after a predator lands.
right.
But it was really, really well done.
I thought so too.
Like, I watched it last year, and because I had seen some stuff on Facebook about it being really good, and the setting feeling refreshing after all the Predator movies they made.
Yeah,
And I expected it to be cool after what I'd read and when I saw the setting and when I saw, like, when they show the life for these people and how badass they are as warriors. I'm like, oh, this could be interesting.
yeah.
But I was unprepared for just how good that movie actually was going to
And
be.
yeah, like I said, I had zero expectations because I haven't seen the Alien versus Predator movies yet because those I understand are just horrible as well, which is really a shame, honestly, because that seems like something that should not be that hard to make a fucking awesome Aliens versus Predator movie, but um apparently they couldn't pull that one off.
I
I don't know
saw
what
one
it is.
of those, and that one that I watched was enough to put me off from watching the sequel.
I will watch them at some point just so I can say that I watched them all. I don't know that I will go back and finish the Shane Black movie, but I at least can say I started it. And of course, the main reason I'm doing the big Predator focus right now is because I'm working on my custom Predator box set, which I just built the figure of my next Dutch. So the Arnold.
Nice.
Yeah. So I'm going to paint him today. And then I have Anna mostly done. I'm waiting on the head, and then so I can do the skin tone and then her head at the same time, and then she'll be done. And then I have the Predator, and then a couple like top secret bonus figures that I'm working on.
One thing that has become clear to me, yeah, one of the things that's become clear to me since Brian's been working on this Predator box set is, even though I have seen Predator a few times, it's been a while. I think I need to go back and watch it again because I keep being surprised by things like their names. Uh
It's
before
funny you
Brian
should say that.
started this project.
Emily and I just sat down and watched it last week because Emily said she'd only
Um
seen it like once, so we sat down and watched it.
Before you started this project, I knew Blaine's name and I knew Dylan's name. I could not remember the name of any of the other characters. And the guy that Shane Black plays, I didn't know he had a name. And the other guy that doesn't have the glasses but looks like him, I didn't know he had a name either. Um,
Poncho.
and I really just, like, I've seen the movie a few times. I just don't. It's like I remember the on-screen stuff, but apparently don't remember a lot of the dialogue and whatever. Because I didn't remember that the guy that was flayed and hanging from the tree. I didn't remember that character had a name. So,
Oh yeah.
yeah, I think I need to watch Predator again.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I watched it and I noticed that I forgot a couple of accessories for some of my guys, so I'm pulling those out right now before I forget, so I can do that later today. Billy had a couple canteens on his back, and Mac had one, and I didn't put any on my guys, so I need to go back and fix that.
um, the 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 box set that you're working on. I know you got the head specifically because they're based on those characters, but I really think a paint job helps a lot, and
Yeah,
the way you painted them captures all their likenesses really, really well.
happy with how it's
And
coming along.
yeah, I can't help but think that if most of those actors could see them, I I think they'd be pretty happy with them. I mean, Carl Weathers obviously saw your first one because he autographed it, but
Did
I like to think that he'd be happy with your second one too, and that the rest of the cast would enjoy them too. Although the guy who played Billy, I think it would be hard for him to see it. May he rest in peace.
Yeah, Sonny.
But
Yeah, Sonny Lanham was not. He was a tough person to be around, from what I understand.
um, I so yeah, I need to watch Predator again. I'll put it on my list. The reason we were talking about Starship Troopers is because before we started this show, I had it on Netflix. I was watching it while I did some stuff around the house. So, because it's one of those movies I've seen it a lot, and I don't necessarily need to be watching it. I can hear it, and I know what's going on. I mean, there are some parts I have to sit down and watch,
Right.
but
Predators
it's
like
one of
that
those
for me.
movies that I've seen it enough that it can be background noise, or I can sit and just enjoy it.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, it's because today is Memorial Day, and as much as I hate the phrase "Happy Memorial Day," I understand the sentiment behind it. But it's actually it's made, it's for reflection
Absolutely.
on the military members who paid the ultimate price. But I don't, and I know a couple of people that through my life that have died in combat, and I will observe them today. But I don't I don't want to watch anything real world today. So I was flipping through Netflix. I'm like, oh, Starship Troopers has
Yeah.
the sentiment, but without the. But that's where I was when we started this.
That was kind of my
But
plan too. I was going to put something on that was not that I didn't have to remember.
yeah, I think today I might take the opportunity to watch Predator. But um, but yeah, the only plan for the show is I've got a couple of Star Wars Black Series figures that have been in the package that I was gonna open on the show. Um,
I was gonna before we get to that, I'm gonna grab a figure subscription service figure to open. Um, my memory on Facebook today was 2 years since you were here, so
um,
we should do another customizing challenge.
all right, maybe. Damn it. Um, all right, fine, I'll agree to it, but shut up. Um,
Yeah, we totally
I
need to do another customizing challenge because that is always so much fun.
uh lately I've been buying and customizing mostly uh 6-inch figures. One of the things I wanted to do over on the show is there's an old fashioned hutch in the room where I'm sitting right now. And when my mother was here, she had all kinds of cups and stuff stacked in it. But I like the hutch, but I kept a few of the things out of it. A lot of that stuff is put away now. But I am using it for showcase for some of my 6-inch figures. Not the Joes. The Joes are going in their own display elsewhere at some point, but this is mostly Star Wars Marvel stuff because I'm not a completist of any kind. I mostly buy characters or troopers that I really like or groups of characters from specific things, but I want to show this off a little bit.
And I can't hear you, man. That microphone, once you point it away, you can't hear you at all.
Yeah, I know. I know. I'm just going to show it off.
Your thumb's covering the camera.
So just an idea. But yeah, I
Nice.
got a few more figures that I need to add to that display. I need to organize it a little better, but
Oh, organization, man. I've run out of space in my 6-inch Iron Man display. I've got like half a dozen Iron Man figures that are just sitting around because I don't have anywhere to put them. I need to figure out a new way to display my stuff, and it's just I don't want to do it, so I don't do it, and it just everything's just starting to pile up.
Well, it's not helped by the fact that it's as important as Iron Man is to the comics and especially to the MCU. Hasbro never stops making new Iron Man figures.
It does not, because
At some point,
there's a new Marvel Legends set coming out for the West Coast Avengers, and it has a Iron Man figure in it. It's a repaint of the Silver Centurion armor.
I saw that set and it looks great, but I don't know how much it's going to cost, but it's going to be more than I want to pay, and I don't
I
need
saw the
that.
price. I don't remember. It's on Amazon.
Is it north of $100? It's got to be.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm just gonna get the Iron
yeah,
Man off of eBay. There's enough people that don't want that Iron Man figure. It'll be up on eBay.
Oh yeah, totally. The yeah, because when I was reading comics as a uh as an adolescent and as a teenager, mostly I was reading the mutant books, but the only Avengers books I really remember gravitating towards were the West Coast Avengers. But they had Rhodey in it, and War Machine is one of my favorite Marvel characters. So really, the West Coast Avengers that I read, it was limited, I admit, but those are the characters I remember the best. Um, Later on, much later on, like a few years ago, I went back and I read some of the main Avengers titles, but eh.
And see, for me, the very first
The
Iron Man comic book that I ever read was issue number 200, and that's the first appearance of the Silver Centurion armor. And there's a West Coast Avengers cameo in that. So
okay, so
I don't
that's
want
one
the
that
set,
you're
but I want that figure. I mean, I do have the Walgreens exclusive that came out a couple years ago, but again, it's a repaint. The Walgreens has the silver, and the one in the West Coast Avengers set has a white paint. So it's more comic accurate.
Yeah, yeah, see, I understand like the emotional attach. That was your first issue. So chances are that's your favorite Iron Man armor.
One of them.
But yeah, because with me, um, a lot of my earliest Marvel memories is seeing the kids in the neighborhood that we lived in Fort Benning, Georgia, with the Secret Wars figures,
Yes.
from Mattel,
Yep.
which were inspired by, but not actually based on, the Secret Wars comic that came out.
Yeah.
But that if I think of Marvel stuff, that is the earliest stuff I can remember. So I can say with definitive certainty that that toy line is why I have a weird thing for Baron Zemo, which is why he's part of my 6-inch display. I want to say that's where I probably saw Wolverine for the first time. That's why I have a brown suit Wolverine in my 6-inch display. The Captain America that I've got back there is the brand new one, the Ultimate Captain America. But I'm trying to buy Marvel Legends right now that are reflective of kind of the way they looked in that toy line, which is why what just shipped from Hasbro Pulse was the 2-pack of Dr. Octopus and Aunt May. I have no need for an Aunt May figure, but I really like the Dr. Octopus that comes with her. So I ordered it because I wanted the Dr. Octopus that kind of looks like the Secret Wars toy. Even though it's not comic accurate, because especially at the time, Doc Ock was still the big portly guy with the mechanical arms. This one's a little more. He's a little thinner, a little more lithe, looking like he did from the Secret Wars toy line. So yeah, that's supposed to be here sometime this week. I have no need of that stupid Aunt May, but they're a 2-pack, so whatever.
I
That
still
Aunt May,
I have this that Secret Wars Iron Man still on the card. The bubble, the blister is yellowed, but I still have a carded Iron Man from that line, and that's probably the only one I will ever get, because if you get them loose, it's impossible to get one without a paint wear on the unibeam, the chest unibeam. That's one of those
yeah, I
things.
can
It's
see
like
that.
the nose on a snow serpent. It is super hard to get one without that paint rub. I've
Um,
all the ones I've looked for, I've never seen one that doesn't have a paint rub off of unibeam.
well, I'll say this: I don't of the 6-inch Marvel stuff that I'm getting. That if it does come from that nostalgic place of seeing the original Secret Wars, I don't need everything to be exactly a replicator. One of the things they are doing is a Marvel Legends set based on Secret Wars of Doctor Doom, looking like a new update of that original toy. So he doesn't have the cape, and he's got the weird robotic print on his tunic, and he comes in a 2-pack with Monica Rambeau as Captain Marvel. And when I read the Secret Wars stuff when I was like 11 or 12, she was the Captain Marvel that I knew first. So she's
Ah,
Captain Marvel from the comics for me. So I was more than happy to buy that set.
and I kind of want
So
the
I mean,
Spider
there's still
Woman from that West Coast Avengers set, because she was in one of the first Iron Man books that I got.
it's who, Jessica Carpenter.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, she's one of the ones in that set that I think is cool, and I really like that Mockingbird figure, but I don't really need them.
I
And
need that Iron Man. I'll get that Iron Man at some point, but
um,
I'm not
like
buying
you
a full
said,
set.
you won't have a problem finding that one on eBay, and
I
it'll
don't
be
think
fairly
so.
cheap.
Yeah, I think there'll be enough
um,
people that don't want it to begin with, and um, there'll be enough people that already have the people that do want it already have the Walgreens exclusive, and they'll be happy enough with that.
yeah. I think if the Walgreens exclusive hadn't happened just a couple of years ago, chances are the one from the Iron Man from the box set would be in a little bit more demand.
Yeah, I
But
think you're right.
for the most part, people are going to be buying that set for Hank Pym and Mockingbird. Mockingbird's not new, but almost new. And Hank Pym, honestly, if I didn't know from the solicitations when I saw the pictures of that figure and I saw its name, I don't think I would know that it was a Marvel Comics based figure. It's just he's realistic, wearing a baggy jumpsuit, and
The only reason I
nothing
recognize
about
it
it
again,
says.
the only reason I recognize it again, Iron Man. He was in Iron Man comics in that time period that when I first started reading. So I
But I
recognize
mean,
it.
like the figure itself, honestly, if I didn't know it was from that set, I would think that was just that could have been a Marvel or that could have been a Hasbro figure from any toy line.
Yeah, it's pretty
He's
generic.
and that is why a lot of people that I've seen in the Facebook groups, they're going for that set because if you like the 6-inch figures, he's one of those everyman figures that he could fit in a display anywhere.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, they've got I mean, Marvel Legends team makes a lot of figures, and there's a lot of really great ones coming, but man, it's just expensive. But
Yeah, I'm glad I'm just picking up Iron Man stuff.
um, yeah, because I that wave that the Extremis Iron Man is from, it's the same wave that Ultimate Captain America came from. I've now seen that Iron Man twice, and I've seen the Yelena Boliva, Black Widow, but she's got this weird. night vision thing over her face. I do not understand what that is. I looked at that figure in Target and I'm like, what the fuck is that? So
I
it's a
don't
bizarre
remember.
figure.
I don't remember that figure now that you mentioned that. I don't.
I'm gonna guess it's from one of the more modern comics, but I look at it and I'm just like, I don't know what it's supposed to be, and it's ugly. Um, um, I feel like that figure would have been cooler if it had swappable heads without that whatever it is on her face, but um no, hi Alice. Hi puppy.
Hi, sweetie. Being a good girl. Probably not.
I bet she is. Don't pick on my dog. Um
Customizing challenge. Just saying.
all right, whatever it is, it's probably gonna be a 6-inch figure.
Yeah, I figured as much.
Um but um it won't be an Iron Man figure. You don't have room for any more of those.
I don't. I got to figure something else out. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I keep putting it off, but man, let's get to the point. I've got like 4 or 5 Iron Man. I got like a zombie Iron Man. I've got uh that extremis armor Iron Man. Yeah, I got like a pile of Iron Man figures just sitting on the table where my flag is because I don't have anywhere else to put them right now.
Um because the cases that you have them in, I mean, they're good sized. Are those the D12 cases? Is that what
Yes.
they? Yeah, I mean, they're good sized display cases and they're wide and they got room for lots of stuff. That's how many fucking Iron Man figures Hasbro has made.
Yeah,
Um,
it's got to be about 6 feet tall. It's got 4 shelves, and I've got 3 risers on each shelf, or a 3 case. So there's four levels on each shelf, and it's full. I can't get another figure in there.
and it's all Iron Man variations,
All
right?
six.
Like,
It's all 6-inch Iron Man
yeah,
figures.
it's not like you have. It's not like you have Iron Man ancillary characters in there with Iron Man. Nope, it
No,
is
there's
just
the bottom
Iron
shelf.
Man.
The bottom shelf is mostly villains. So
Okay.
so
Oh,
there's
that's right. Yeah, yeah. Because you've got this rogues gallery under there.
yeah, so
Um,
there's all of the like Iron Man 1 Ironmongers, the Ironmonger build a figure, um uh Crimson Dynamo, Titanium Man, uh from the Iron Man 1 movie line. But yeah, I can't get another fucking figure in that display. And I've got like a pile of figures just sitting around. And at this point in time, my wife's like, "Is that another Iron Man figure?" Yeah, she's like, "Where are you gonna put it?" Like, I don't know.
you literally have no answer for it.
Yeah, pretty much.
I got 3 Star Wars figures to open.
Yeah. Well,
I'll let you.
let me go find a figure subscription service figured out. Man, I'm running out of stuff to open. I'm down to stuff that I have like doubles of, so I don't. There's no point in opening it, or like super exclusive stuff like my San Diego Comic-Con Jinx figures, which I'm not going to open. Ugh.
Well, if you keep buying Iron Man figures, you could leave them in the package and open them on the show.
It's funny you should say that because I don't know that I opened the last one. What was the last one? Wasn't the
Well, there you go.
um
Um, all right.
yeah, I don't remember what
I'm
the
going to let you pick. All right. Should I open Emperor Palpatine, Isla Secura, or Greedo?
You have a Greedo figure. What a surprise.
Yes. So, which one am I opening first?
Greedo.
Okay. 50th anniversary of Lucasfilm edition Greedo in the retro 1978 Kenner color scheme. This has been in the package since I bought it, in 2021 for one very good reason. See, here's the thing with this Greedo figure. The eyes are the wrong shape. Rhodians have circular eyes for reasons that pass understanding. The eyes, the sculpt, they're ovular. Well, I wasn't going to open this thing until I could get a replacement. So I kept checking on Etsy and whatever to see if anybody was 3D printing 6-inch Rhodian heads, with the proper eyes. But no. And because
That
I'm
kind
like,
of surprises me.
well, it surprises me too. And I'm just like, honestly, there's a shortage of a lot of different alien species, but yeah, Greedo is one that I love the figure. Greedo's my second favorite Star Wars character, but it's such a small detail, but on the 6-inch figure, it just annoys the crap out of me. I'm just like, it's the first Rhodian figure they ever made where they fucked up the shape of the eyes, and for me, it throws the whole aesthetic off.
Yeah,
but the first Greedo figure they put in the Black Series was in the movie accurate, like the light blue jumpsuit with the orange vest and whatever from the cantina scene. Well, for the 50th anniversary Lucasfilm line, they repainted that same figure and lost the vest, but they painted him in the lime green and the teal from the vintage Kenner figure. Well, a couple of months ago, when I was searching around online for 6-inch scale Rhodians, well, I discovered the Hasbro Star Wars Hero Mashers figure of Greedo that comes apart for kids.
Yeah.
But look, the head is in perfect scale.
Oh, wow.
So
it is.
Yeah, I'm going to transport this head onto this body and repaint it so I have a proper Greedo figure.
Huh.
The one detail that's still wrong, and it bugs me that they did this. I wish they had swapped the lower legs out to give him the tall spacer boots, but they didn't. So I may do something about that myself.
I was gonna say that shouldn't be a detail that's too hard to fix.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I could. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I could Dremel it down and resculpt it to make it look a little more sleek. But yeah, I'm looking at this dumb toy that I got for $8 shipped, and I'm like, that's it. It's got the round eye. That's what I needed. So here's Greedo. He's finally open after 2 years. Oh, look, the belt floats around. That's great. All right, that's getting glued down. That drives me crazy.
I do. Yeah,
but otherwise, he's a perfectly good Greedo figure.
All right.
And if I ever decide that I need to replace it and buy one to keep on the card, yeah, I kept this one on the card because I had a mission. But honestly, it's not that expensive. So, but I've got a few carded figures, but honestly, half of them get old. Damn it, toys are fun when they're open. So
yeah, well,
so Greedo.
All right. Mine is going to be the G.I. Joe figure subscription service version 2 Stalker.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yes. I love this toy as a kid. This was my go-to Stalker. I had the original Stalker, but when this came out, I liked this one better. I thought the sculpt was a lot better. Even though it was, he had a winter parka, that was still my regular Stalker figure. So. Yeah, all right, that's pretty cool. I dig that. Oh, the other thing I was thinking about doing on the show was performing surgery. My vintage Rock Viper has a busted O-ring, and I've been putting off fixing it because of how fragile that Rock Viper crotch is. We talked about that on the last show, actually.
Yeah.
I still haven't fixed it.
Yeah.
That was like a month ago.
I feel like that's it's wise to be worried about that.
Yeah, it's got me. I'm like, oh man, I don't. It needs to be fixed, but I don't want to fix it because I'm worried that I'm gonna bust that over or bust that bust the crotch on that thing.
It's really sad how valid that concern is.
I know. I have a second Rock Viper, and it's in great shape. It's not in one piece right now, but it has a busted crotch, and I don't. I tried to get a second crotch for it, but they're impossible to get. You have to get a full figure. Oh, I should save that blister. So there we go. There's the. I like that plastic. That's a nice plastic. So we've got the kayak.
Is the kayak just a is it just a reuse of the vintage?
It looks like it. It's molded in a different plastic that feels a lot more resilient than the original.
Okay. Does it still have the backpack hole?
It does.
Okay. Or I mean the peg, yeah.
Yeah, because the pontoon takes that. God damn it. I'm in the process of reorganizing my painting stuff or my customizing areas. So everything is a mess right here, right now.
Yeah, I need to do some organization on my in fact, my whole everything is fucking organization.
I've been waiting for
And
the
you know
weather
what I
to
really
nice.
suck at? Organizing.
Yeah,
Terrible at
I hate organizing. I've been waiting for the weather to get nice to clean down here. And it's just finally starting to get nice, but I need to buy a couple more paint racks. Yeah, I like this figure a lot. These arms are fantastic.
uh I'm comparing these two Greedo heads right now, and while the details on that Hero Mashers figure or head are a lot softer than the than the details on the Black Series figure, obviously,
Yeah.
there's I don't know, there's some sort of weird charm about the Hero Masters besides just the eyes being correct, that it's just a little more Kennery looking.
I was gonna say
This is
that
perfectly
the Hero Masters figure is probably gonna be a lot more reminiscent of the vintage figure than the 6-inch one would be.
yeah, I think you're right. Because honestly, this Black Series Greedo figure, the sculpt is really good. And but I'm gonna end up using it for a different Rhodian, not Greedo.
There we
All
go.
right, yeah, that looks good. Does it feel? You said the plastic feels like it's more resilient.
Yeah.
All right, that's good. Does now here's the big question with the modern parts: does Stalker fit inside of it? Can he sit in it?
I was just wondering that.
Because I know he's got those bigger boots from the Retaliation Joe Trooper with the Gators over him.
Uh, yep.
Fuck. Oh, he does fit. That's all right. So they must have retooled it a bit too. So
Yeah,
he
I think
does fit.
the hole might be a bit wider, but yeah, he fits in there just fine.
All right, that's cool. I was just curious if it was one of those that they had to include it for. All right. Oh, nice. All right, I'm impressed.
Yeah, no, and it's stupid crazy expensive to get those now, so which
No,
is
I
one
would
of the
imagine.
things that I hate about figure subscription service figures is because there's a bunch that I still would like to have, but didn't want to get the whole series at the time. But I'll never get them now because they're just stupid expensive.
I was gonna say, are there any of the figure subscription services figures that are reasonably priced, not cheap, but reasonably priced?
Uh, yeah, there still are. I mean, I got my Flaming Moth Ice Viper for a decent price.
Okay,
I got it loose, but the guy gave me a good deal on it, so there's still deals to be had. That's for sure.
you got to look. That's all.
Yeah,
Um,
you just got to spend some time looking.
All right, so Emperor Palpatine or Isla Secura?
Let's go with Isla Secura.
Okay. Yeah,
And while you're
I was
opening that, I'm gonna go get the other thing for that I was gonna open.
the art of Isla Secura is okay. Not a great likeness of Amy Allen, but it carries it captures it captures the spirit of the figure pretty well. I do like the Black Series packaging, but all right, let's see. Huh. Lightsaber actually came out without the blade falling out. Whee! Here's me doing my Luke impression in the first Star Wars movie.
Just don't
He's
point it
lucky
at
he
your
didn't put an
face.
eye out with that. What's that?
Just don't point it at your face.
Um,
So my first thing I've already opened. It's the active camouflage chopper, Predator from Aliens versus Predator. I'm gonna get a second one for parts. I need it for I need the accessories for a custom for the set, which I will reveal later when I have the stuff.
all right, here's Black Series Isla Sakura.
Nice.
The
They recently
likeness
did
to
a vintage collection figure of her. I was gonna get it, but I forgot.
uh the likeness to Amy Allen is better on this sculpt than it is in the art on the box, but that's okay because yeah, the rest of this, the articulation's nice. It doesn't have any tight joints. I at all.
I have a
She
figure
moves
autographed by
well.
her.
Oh, do you?
I do.
Uh oh, I didn't realize you'd met her.
I didn't. I went to a Joe convention in Houston. That's where I met Jimbo. And Eric. God, I can't remember Eric. Shit, I can't remember his last name. He was one of the guys that ran Good to Go. Eric. God damn it, what's Eric's last name? But we met up with Eric in Oklahoma, and he rode down or followed us down, and he had speed passes, so he got that figure autographed for me.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
God damn it!
All right, what I'm trying to do is trying to see if she can hold the lightsaber double-handed because some of the Jedi figures are articulated enough to hold the
Eric
lightsaber with
Davis.
both hands. Ah, she can. She can hold the lightsaber with both hands.
Nice. Yeah, Eric
All right,
Davis.
good.
I don't remember what his screen name was, but he was one of the guys that was on Good to Go all the time.
You're testing my memory, and I failed. I don't remember. Um. Oh yeah, she poses well. All right, good. Yeah, I last Wednesday or last Thursday, I had to go to Target after work. Like I had to go to Target after work. I couldn't avoid it. So uh, because of stuff I needed for Blake's lunch and some of the stuff that he likes, like the drinks that he likes, they only have them at Target, so I had to go. But I was surprised to actually find her hanging on the shelf with all the other um 40th anniversary vintage carded Return of the Jedi figures. Um, yeah, I don't know why she was there, but I got her because I'm like, chances are I'm never gonna see her again.
Yeah,
Don't know
that's
who
my target
don't
is
know who
vintage
else is in the assortment with her because yeah, I the only other figures they've got there's an Imperial officer from Andor that they've had multiples of forever and General Landos. So
Yeah,
um
that's about. I think the last time I was there, they only had the Lando figure,
um
vintage.
and Ewok dress Leia, which
Uh,
I actually got on which I actually got off of Amazon for $9. Um so all right,
ooh,
so Isla Sakura.
ooh, that's now that you remind me of sales. Let me go get the other thing I was going to open.
Ah, Nice. All right, so Isla Sakura in my collection. I don't have a lot of the prequel Jedi. I need an Anakin figure. What I really want is the Episode 3 Anakin, but I'm not paying the stupid money that he goes for right now. So I could get the Episode 2 Anakin, and I probably will. But I really want the Episode 3 Anakin, but whatever.
All right,
I
so
need a
Big Bad
prequel Obi-Wan too.
when the figure came out, it was like stupid expensive, so I skipped it because it wasn't enough. I didn't want it enough to buy it at the time. But Big Bad Toy Store had it on 1-day sale, so I picked up the What If Hydra Stomper.
Oh yeah, you texted me about that, but I honestly just had no use for it.
It's close enough to Iron Man, so.
Well, because I have the super the What If Aging Carter, where she takes the super soldier serum instead of Steve Rogers. Yeah, well, he's in the Hydra Stomper armor, but yeah, I just didn't need it enough to spend the money on it, even on the 1-day sale. Hi, Alice, shoot back.
Well, I wanted it just because it's a sort of
Iron Man-ish. Well, and in that show, it is a Stark design armor. So
exactly.
Yeah, because Tony Stark's dad creates it for Steve after he gets injured in the What If episode. Yeah, I've got a Mace.
This is actually pretty cool. This is a solid chunk
figure.
Solid chunk of plastic, man. This is actually.
I would say, is it heavy?
It is. It's super heavy. Yeah, this is a pretty cool figure, dude. I'm glad I got it. I don't have a place to display it, but it's gonna go in the pile with the rest of the loose Iron Man figures right now. But yeah.
Well, I would say you could always have it sitting on the customizing table, keeping you company while you paint.
Yeah, that's where it's gonna go for now. Because
that is a big chunk of plastic. Holy
it is.
Shit.
It's got interchangeable hands. Get them out. So you got 2 fists and then open hands, which I'm just gonna leave the open hands on. And then the backpack is articulated, which is pretty cool and removable. And then
you mean the shit, the jet, the oh wow.
Flame effects.
Oh, it comes with the jet effects.
Which we might as well just put those on there. I've got so many of these goddamn flame effects that it's like not even funny anymore, but at least these can go on. So yeah, no, I think that's awesome. I'm glad I picked it up, and I'm glad it was on sale because I didn't want it bad enough for. I think it was like $50 originally, and I'm like, that is not a $50 figure. At least not a $50 figure I need.
How much was the 1-day sale for?
Oh boy, that's a good question. I don't remember. I want to look that up now.
Because now you're making me sad that I didn't pick it up, but whatever.
Yeah. I'm glad I got it. So yeah, I'm gonna look that up real quick because now I'm curious.
Now that I have Isla Sakura, I have a Mace Windu figure that's on its way to me. So I'll have Mace Windu. I need Ki-Adi-Mundi and Plo Koon, but I am not paying the fucking prices that those 2 figures are going for. They're not going for ridiculous, insane high prices, but they are definitely both going for more than I'm willing to pay for them.
I got it for $33.
Shit. That's not bad.
No, not at all.
That's not bad when you consider that you saved $20 on it.
It's back up to $53 right now for the standard. And I think I bought the substandard, or no, yeah, I bought a substandard one. So the packaging, and my packaging was, I bought substandard packaging and it wasn't.
Nice.
There wasn't any damage to it.
Um,
So I saved a couple bucks on that. But the substandard packaging right now on Big Bad Toy Store is 53. The standard is 55 and the collector is 59. So yeah, it's an expensive figure. So yeah, I saved like $20 on it.
well, maybe if that one day sale, maybe if that didn't clear out enough of them, maybe they'll put it back on sale again.
Yeah.
But yeah, right now the last time I saw Plo Koon online, he was going for like $50 or $60, and I'm like, no. Although I mean I've seen it as cheap as like 40, but I'm like, no. Count Dooku is the same way. It's about a $30 or $40 figure, but I'm like, I don't want to pay it.
Yeah.
But Ki-Adi-Mundi is cheaper, but I figured I'll get Mace Windu first. And then I'll take it from there. There's a lot of Jedi Masters from the prequels that I don't see them getting around to making. So as long as they make the most important ones, but the prequels have been fairly well neglected in the Black Series, aside of Clone Troopers, which there are plenty, and a few of the Jedi. Yeah, like they've done a bunch of battle droids because they're repainting the battle droids, yeah. But the super battle droids do not have a Black Series figure. The commando droids from the Clone Wars, no Black Series figure. And there's a Padme figure from Episode 2 with the arena, but they don't have any of the Queen Amidala figures. No, I take that back. One of them is in the pipeline now. The purple dress, the from the Battle of Naboo at the end of Episode 1.
Oh, yeah.
She's in the pipeline. But none of the really elaborate Queen Amidalas are in the Black Series yet. And I was like, what the fuck are they waiting for? Put out the throne room Black Series figure. That would be phenomenal.
Almost tempted to pick up the two Black Series Delta Squad Republic Commandos that are out, because I know Scorch and Sev are out.
They're all out. All four of them are out.
Are they?
GameStop here has all of them, but I'm waiting for them to run a sale or whatever, or like a buy one get one half off or whatever, because at $28, I'm not buying all four of them. But I want to, but
I'm tempted. As much as I hate buying 6-inch figures for figures that I already have, I am a huge Republic Commando fan, and man,
I was gonna say it's Delta Squad.
Yeah. I mean, I have like two or three sets of the original. 4-inch.
Yeah, because I have Fixer, Scorch, and no, I have Boss, Scorch, and Sev. I don't know what happened to my Fixer, the 3 3/4-inch Fixer figure.
And he is hard to get.
But since I've gotten into the Black Series stuff, see, I love them for display. I think the 6-inch figures make a hell of a great display. And if I'm going to get Delta Squad, I'd love to have them in the 6-inch line. But I just,
like you said, it's $28 a piece. It's hard to throw down for them.
Yeah, it's not that I'm opposed to it. I can't. I'd have to buy them one at a time, which is okay. But there might be space in between them, and I
worried that
I wish they'd do like a buy one get one half off, so I could at least knock 2 of them out.
Yeah.
But because there's some battle droids from the Gaming Greats line that I'd like to have too, but because like right now I don't have any of the battle droids, but I don't know. You got to prioritize, and you got to find deals, because a lot of the 6-inch figures that I have in that display, some of them I found deals on. Like Darth Vader from the Obi-Wan Kenobi series. I got him for $18 on Amazon.
Yeah.
And
One of the figures that I
um
am going to open today, I got for 11. Oh, is this the second? Yeah, this is the. Yeah, I got a second chopper, but this is for custom parts. So I needed it. I'm working on one of the figures I'm doing for the convention or for my box set is from Predator Hunting Grounds video game. They did old Dutch. So like Dutch in the future. So I mean he's got like futuristic armor and some Predator equipment. And I needed
so
a 3 3/4 inch Predator figure for parts for the figure.
and so he looks like Arnold Schwarzenegger does right now in the real world.
Yes.
Um
And a bunch of people have the head. Like one guy on Etsy has it. Spartan 118 has a decent head. So I've got the heads on the way. Actually, I'm waiting for a big order of heads because it has Anna. There's 2 Mac heads in there, a second Billy head, the one without the hat, and then the old.
okay.
So
So
my Mac is going to have 3 different heads. So I've got the one on the figure right now. It doesn't have the hat. The second one will have the hat, and then the third head is him yelling as he's firing the minigun after Blaine.
yeah.
So my Mac will have 3 interchangeable heads, and then my Billy will have the one right now has the hat on, and then the one that I'm getting doesn't have the hat on. And I'm thinking about doing, if I can get a good deal on a Joy Toy figure, I'm thinking about doing the like final scene Billy where he's just like bare chested. So it'll be an interchangeable torso. Because I really don't want to do it.
That's cool.
I don't really want to do a whole nother figure. So
yeah, can't blame me on that.
half a figure would be okay. So interchangeable torso. But I'm
I'm
rapidly
gonna open
running
up
out of room in my box set for figures because I still have a couple that I haven't like disclosed what I'm doing yet.
I don't even know, folks. Sometimes I know this stuff ahead of time, but actually, I think half the reason he hasn't shared it with me is because my fucking memory is so bad that he's waiting till I watch the movie again so I don't have to respond with, "Who's that?"
Actually, most of the figures that like top secret bonus figures aren't from well, some of them are. I was gonna say I'm doing characters from like throughout the Predator franchise.
Oh, so the anchor of it is the original Predator movie, but you're doing custom to represent the
So
because
for one of the figures I'm gonna do the Danny Glover figure from Predator 2, Mike Kerrigan. I've already posted the Jim Hopper, the Green Beret that gets skinned in the original movie. That's one of them. Old Dutch from the video game. I have most of the figure built. I was just waiting on this one for parts. I'm doing a Predator. From the original movie. I don't know how I'm going to do that yet. If I'm just going to repaint one, I was thinking about doing one with active camouflage. I don't know what I'm going to do with that. And then I'm going to do Dutch in like thermal vision. Soda.
All right, so I'll open up Emperor Palpatine. Now he's from the archive line, which is what they do when they re-release Black Series figures that have already come out. And on the back, they'll have a picture of how the original figure was packaged. This was the original Palpatine figure was in a box set with the throne.
Oh, yeah.
The electric the attachments for his hands and interchangeable faces, where the archive figure is just the basic Emperor, but that's okay. I don't need all that extra shit. I just need him to stand there with Darth Vader and Tarkin and the Grand Inquisitor. So, one thing I'll give the Black Series is the way they handle the soft goods. like the cloaks and the dresses,
Yeah.
they're very rarely too billowy or too much where it's just like extra fabric. Um, Vader's cape, I was really impressed because it hangs just right. It's nice and full looking, so he's got the imposing silhouette. Um, and Asajj Ventress, she's got the fabric dress, and it hangs beautifully. In the package, this Palpatine looks a little janky with the cloak, but we're gonna see what happens when I actually open it up. All right, well, his head is pretty sufficiently creepy.
Yeah.
Um, with the hood down, he can get the Darth Sidious hologram look going where it's just his chin. So I'm good with that. And I am shocked that without me pushing on the hood, it actually just hangs properly.
Boy, it does.
I'm
I thought
shocked
when
because
you showed me that figure to me, I thought the cape was sculpted. I'm like, is that soft goods? Because it looks really, really good for a soft good cape.
yep, it is. Here we go. I'm gonna put his arms up. Yes, look at that.
Yeah,
It
no, I
is
thought that was
all
sculpted. I thought that was
soft
sculpted when I
goods.
saw that. When you sent me the picture that you were going to open that
And I
before,
can see where you'd think that.
because it looks really good.
All right.
Normally, I'd be like, Emperor Palpatine figure, meh. But I've bought a couple of them for the sculpted hood for 4-inch figures, like my Zartan, custom that I did. I
Yeah.
bought that Palpatine because it has a really nicely sculpted hood. I'm like, huh, that's a nice Palpatine figure, actually. I was surprised at how well that looks. That's not something that I would like throw down for, but I was like, man.
Opening the cloak up. I also got him for $18. That does help.
Yeah,
But opening the cloak up, he's got the interior, he's got the plastic belt, and look at that. Even that's not bad.
yeah,
Not
no,
bad, and it's not cheap. Because one of the things that drives me nuts about the two different soft goods Darth Vaders that I bought in the 4-inch line is the capes are that real thin mesh material. So
it doesn't hang right.
I know why they go with the fabric for so that it hangs, but it doesn't. They use that real thin material, so if you hold it up to a light, it winds up creating a cloak that's not nearly as black as it needs to be.
Yeah,
And the one soft goods Emperor Palpatine figure I ever saw and didn't buy was the same thing. It's got that real thin material. This is not thin material. It hangs properly, and I'm pretty fucking happy.
yeah, no, that's like I said.
Um,
I thought the whole fucking cloak was sculpted because the way it hung and the way it just sat. I'm like, there's no way that soft goods, because soft goods doesn't hold a shape like that. But so I'm really impressed with that figure, and that's not a figure I expected to be impressed with.
Honestly, I bought it because, like I said, he's got to hang out with he's got to run the Empire. He's got to hang out with the big bads. But I didn't expect it to like it this much. But if I take the cloak off, he can stand there looking like he's in his dressing gown, like Scrooge, Ebenezer Scrooge style. But I'm not entirely certain about the face sculpt. But I mean, I can see Ian McDiarmid in it. It's not
Yes.
bad.
No,
Um,
I think it's a decent sculpted head.
this though, having like this does remind me we really need a Chancellor Palpatine or a Senator Palpatine from Episode One
Yeah.
because I'd like to have Palpatine. I'd like to have Sith Palpatine and Politician Palpatine, but we'll get there eventually. I'm sure. Hopefully.
The last one I'm going to open today is another Hiya Toys. This is the Jungle Hunter Invisible Predator. So it's from the first movie. I'm probably going to get.
All right.
I think what I'm probably going to do for my Predator for my set is get one of these and then paint it in specific areas to make it look like it's decloaking.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
His cloak has a little fabric. I mean, it's got a little hole in the fabric, so the clasp actually plugs into it and stays. I was worried about once I took it off, is that fabric enclosure gonna stay? And it does. All right, good job, Hasbro.
So I am not a huge fan of these figures because they are super fragile. But this one actually feels like they used a softer plastic, so it feels a little more. And the ankles on these things they don't stand on their own. And Haya has a proprietary peg hole, so it doesn't fit any other stands, and it doesn't fit their stands well at all either, which is annoying as fuck. So they're super hard to display.
That's okay. That is a really weird problem to have.
It is, and it's really annoying. And they've got interchangeable hands, which I'm going to have to switch out because it came with the spine and skull, which I just dropped. And he can't hold it with the hands that he has on the figure, so I've got to swap the hands out. Otherwise, it's a nicely sculpted figure. I think that's probably what I'm going to do is get a second one of these and then just paint it in specific areas to make it look like it's decloaking. But will he stand by himself? Probably not. No, he needs the figure stand. I actually have a display for my Predator figures, so I don't have to worry about him standing up. But I've got it, and it's dusty right now because I haven't decided where on the wall I'm going to hang this, but this is my Predator set.
Oh, wow.
Predator figures.
Well, so damn, how many of those have they made? Shit.
A shit ton of them, and I don't even have. I'm not a completest on these by any stretch of the imagination, because they just started going
you
crazy.
Don't even have. So you don't even have close to all of them.
No,
So you've got a bunch, and yet it's only scratching the surface.
Yeah, they made a shit ton of them. At one point I was trying to get them all. I was trying to be a completist, but when they just started pumping them out like Joy Toy level, I'm like, nah, I'm just gonna get the ones that I want.
Can't keep up with it. Yeah, the sheer number of releases, like various releases, exclusive and non-exclusive, make me glad that I'm not a completist over like the Marvel Legends, because Star Wars releases a bunch of figures, G.I. Joe releases a bunch of figures, but nothing at all in comparison to the sheer volume of figures that Hasbro releases for Marvel Legends. Jesus Christ. I don't know how the Legends collectors even try to keep up with it.
There's definitely people that do. I mean,
and I'm always impressed by their organization and their ability to keep up with all of this, and I'm impressed with the amount of room they must have to put the shit up, because they're every time, like, I'm part of a Marvel Legends group on Facebook, and I swear to God, every time I see something posted from that group, it's somebody has gotten a pre-order in, and I'm just like, if you're not a completist and you only like collect certain characters or certain groups or the lineup of certain teams, you probably do okay. But like, if you're like let's say you're a Spider-Man collector, you buy all the Spider-Mans and everybody in this rogues gallery, and maybe you don't buy the mutants or the rest of them, but even just to be a Spider-Man collector, that would be a shitload of toys. But
well, we were just
God forbid you like all the different teams.
Yeah, we were just talking about the Iron Man stuff, and that's hard enough to keep up on.
And there's no, and then every once in a while you get like an Iron Man focused wave, which you end up buying most of, and then you realize that this is only that a whole wave of figures based on Iron Man or inspired by his and you realize that that whole wave is a drop in the bucket
I know.
of what they're also putting out.
Yeah, there's been
It's
two Iron Man specific waves, and I spent over 150 bucks on each wave, and it's like you're doing that once a month for Marvel Legends if you're collecting them all. It's like I couldn't do it.
yeah, because one of the cool things they've done, if you read the mutant books in the 90s, then you'll remember that the X-Men, when they're not all wearing their individual costumes, they've got um they've got blue and yellow uniforms. It's got the yellow boots, the yellow gloves, and then the yellow interior of the torsos with blue legs and arms. And they have recently made a push where most of the major X-Men characters have all come out in sets of 2 or 3. Like there's a set with Gambit, Psylocke, and Storm, I think, all in their blue and yellow suits. They did a blue and yellow Wolverine. And I'm just like some of the Marvel Legends group posted, they've got their entire team lineup, including a couple of characters that they Frankenstein together, buying extra sets of those. And there were like 30 figures in there. And it wasn't even the whole mutant lineup, but it was everybody that is out so far or everybody he could make with the available parts. And I'm just like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
And there's another, I think there's more of the blue and yellow suited figures coming out, but I'm just like, that's as much as I like those uniforms from the 90s book, I would not even try to buy them. I wouldn't even try to keep up with it.
Yeah,
Um,
like I said, it's hard enough with just the Iron Man figures. And the one thing that drives me crazy about that is as many Iron Man figures as they pump out, and they still haven't touched some of the like. There's still armors that they haven't made that really need to be made, like the original deep sea armor and the original space armor. Those have never gotten figures, which just blows me away.
and they have done a couple versions of the stealth armor,
Yeah.
but are they like, I know that's one of your favorite armors. Are they good figures, or are they kind of you bought them because they made them, but they're not as good as they could be?
For the most part, they're not too bad. I think there still needs to be a definite um there definitely needs to be a like a definitive stealth armor, because it definitely has different sculpts. And honestly, the one that came the closest was actually the one from the cartoon series with the vac metal parts, because the flares around the
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
the gauntlets and the ankles are bigger, and it has a backpack to it that was there was kind of a like electronics pod that was on the armor in the comic book, and none of the 6-inch figures, or the 4-inch figures for that matter, ever had that. I did a custom of it, and mine had it, but it was not a very good custom, and it was not a very good figure because I used the superhero showdown figure for that.
Wow, that's taking it back a ways.
Yeah.
The superhero showdown, I think the last of those was put out like 2006, 2007. It's
Yeah.
been a
I
while.
have I have the
Um,
obviously I have the Iron Man figure, and I've got the Ghost Rider figure, and I've got the Venom figure. The Venom one's still on the card, but and the Ghost Rider one's not bad actually, because it came with the bike. So it's the Danny Ketch. It's not Johnny Blaze, but it's the Danny Ketch
Danny
one.
Ketch, he was the first Ghost Rider, right?
The second one. Johnny
Okay.
Blaze was the first one.
Oh, was he? Okay. Um,
And
yeah, yeah, because
the
Johnny
Predator
Blaze is the
figure
one that.
does stand well on this stand. So this is the Jungle Hunter from the original movie, and he does actually stand pretty well on that figure stand, which surprises me because most of them do not stand well on their figures on their stand.
That's so weird that they make stands specifically to go with those figures and that they don't really work with the figure. That's really weird. Like,
Because
what a weird engineering oversight.
because the active camouflage chopper figure I had it out and it stands for shit. The feet are so over sculpted. There's no articulation in it, so it stands on the stand wonky. I mean, there's
Ouch.
absolutely no way you could get it to stand on its own. It will not stand on its own. That is the biggest complaint I have about the Hayatoy Predator figures is they don't the is the way they've done the feet. The way they're pegged, the way there's not extra like a rocker joint in there or something. They don't stand well. There's no way to position them.
That's weird. Um, like it's just such a that's just such a strange oversight that all the people working on these things, you think somebody would have been like, we should check and make sure all these things like the stands work. But
Yeah.
um,
And they don't. But so I mean that's my biggest complaint about the Hayatoys Predator figures, and they feel very fragile. This one's not too bad, but I've definitely had some figures where it's like I took it out of the box and I looked at it and then I put it in my display so I didn't break it.
Predators, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you've only got part of the Predators.
Yeah, I mean they make a shit ton of them, and like
Do you have as many of them? Do you have as many of them as you wanted, or are there more that you want but just haven't bought?
There's probably a couple that I still want, and I'm gonna get like the active camouflage ones. I really like those anything like that. But for the most part, I have the ones that I want.
Um,
I wish they had gotten the license for like the humans.
oh, I'm gonna guess they can't do that because of like the actor rights and like the face
The
likeness stuff,
yeah,
right?
I'm guessing they don't have the actors likenesses. I mean, they'll never get like Sonny Lanham's for Billy because he's dead. So I mean, they'll never get unless they get it from the family. They'll never do a Billy figure. And I think one of the things people have been commenting on my page is that even like NECA doesn't have the actors likenesses, all of the actors likenesses to finish out the rescue team set.
How many of those figures did they make? Like, how many of the team that we see in the movie? How many of them did they make?
Uh 4 that I know of for sure because I think they did Dylan. I know they did Dutch. They did Poncho and Hawkins, but I don't know if there's a Billy figure, and I'm pretty sure there's not a Blaine figure, and I don't know that there's a Duke, a Bill Duke Mac. So
Yeah.
I think about half of the team still needs which I'm kind of surprised they weren't able to get like Bill Duke and Jesse Ventura's likenesses.
Yeah, because of that lineup, I think Billy's the only one who's dead. The rest of them are all still alive. So
Yeah, I think
I wonder if there's
I don't know about Bill Duke.
he's still alive. Yeah.
Is he?
Yeah, he's still alive. I've seen him in some here recently. I don't remember what it was, but yeah, I'm pretty sure he's still alive. And
Yeah,
every so often we can see Carl Weathers on the Mandalorian. So
right. Well, I think
um
there's a Carl Weathers figure.
no, yeah, there is, but I'm just saying he he's so he's so in tune with the fandom. Like he so enjoys going to these conventions and meeting the fans. I don't think he ever has a problem lending out rights to his likeness because he knows it just gets people engaged. And the guy just, he's, there's something over the top about who he is as a person. And he reflects that in the characters he plays. And
Yeah, it's a huge regret not being able to go get that autographed in person. I mean, Emily did it for me, but she
Yeah,
said,
because you were overseas, right?
yeah, I was in Ukraine. Um,
Um,
but she said that he thought it was pretty cool and he was impressed, but it's not the same, you know.
no, it's not the same. Because yeah, he's one of those. Every time in one of the Star Wars groups, I see people from like they post their pictures from the conventions of themselves with Carl Weathers. They always say he's the most personable guy. Like he'll just sit there and he'll just talk to people until he can't anymore or until they have to move along.
John
So
DeLance is like that. I'm looking forward to seeing him again this year.
um and when's the convention where John Bernthal is going to be that you're going to bring the figure?
Uh, End of June, in beginning of July. I just bought the photo op with him. So
That's cool.
yeah, that is going to happen. I've spent the money on that. I've already requested the time off from work. We have the tickets for the convention. He doesn't have his like autograph tickets up for sale, so I'll just buy that at the time. But yeah, that's going to happen. Figures done, figures built, figures carded, everything. It's all ready to go. I haven't posted it
Wait,
yet. I post it after the convention.
yeah, that's cool. Um, yeah, yeah, because there's a convention in July here. It's the same convention that back in May of 2018 I went to meet Billy D. Williams. It's later in the year than it used to be because they used to have it in May, but now it's in July. But I mean, I look at the guest list, and there's some cool people going, but if I go to the convention, it won't be one where it's to meet anybody or get autographs. It's just sort of to go because honestly, the guest list is cool, but nobody that I need to meet. Or, I mean, there's like Michael Rooker. I'd love to have a conversation with the guy, but I don't. I don't need my picture. I don't need to pay for a picture with him. I certainly don't need to pay for an autograph.
Yeah, it's like Emily says. There's people that we go to get autographs from, and then there's people we go to look at.
Yeah, and honestly, most of the list of guests that are coming, they're people that like if they were at their table and there wasn't a crowd, I'd go around, you'd swing by and say hi or whatever. But yeah, a lot of people you go to see, just say, hey, I've seen that person in person, but I don't. Yeah, you don't have to go. I don't have to go all like half the. I think half the cast of Sons of Anarchy is going to be there, and while they're probably all cool guys, I don't like the show enough to need to pay for anything with any of them. But yeah, I mean it's cool. Yeah, because Mark Boone, what's his name's going to be there. Kim Coates is going to be there. Um, Theo Rossi's going to be there. Um, and yeah, like the Sons of Anarchy fans, they're going to go nuts for that.
Oh yeah,
But yeah, because Sean Gunn's going to be there. I think him and Michael Rooker, I think they're sharing a table.
nice.
So yeah, Kraglin and Yondu. But see, I knew Michael Rooker first from Kevin Smith's Mallrats.
Ah,
So if I was gonna go and I was gonna get his autograph, I'd try to find some sort of Kevin Smith merchandise and see if
see,
I could get him to tell a story
that's.
about
I mean,
being.
those guys they love it when you bring up something esoteric because they know that they're there for either he's like Michael Rooker's there for either Walking Dead or Yondu from
Yeah,
Guardians of
and
the Galaxy. But when
you
you
know,
pull out something esoteric, they're just like that makes their day.
yeah, that's cool because um
We went to go see Jordy, and Emily said that we had to get a Jordy figure because they didn't make a Reading Rainbow figure for LeVar
that
Burton.
is true. Why didn't they make a Reading Rainbow figure? That's silly.
But LeVar Burton was just like he was over the moon when she mentioned Reading Rainbow. So
Um, yeah, I feel like the impact that Reading Rainbow and his time on that show had on children from our generation. Yeah, the guy's a national treasure. Like he
so
was a
like
national, he'd be a national treasure even without Geordie LaForge.
yeah.
But um,
I would have liked to have seen him. I missed the whole thing where he was the host, guest host on Jeopardy. I didn't see any of those because
I
Emily watches Jeopardy every day. So
yeah, I watched some of that, but yeah, there was because yeah, he was one of the many guest hosts they had after Alex Trebek died. So much controversy with all that.
I know. I heard that he didn't do very well, but I still think he would have been awesome.
Yeah, I think I didn't watch a lot of those, but from what I understand, a lot of the guest hosts, there was just a lot of push and pull with them, like behind the scenes, and it sort of affected the way they performed when they were doing the guest hosts. And I got the sense that they didn't really get a lot of time to find their feet, or to really get into a groove.
Yeah.
And yeah, I guess there's just a lot of crap that goes with it. And good on Maya Bialik and Ken Jennings for being able to deal with that shit.
I
Because as I
can't stand
understand it,
her. I
huh?
cannot stand my Mia Balak. I
What?
cannot
She's
stand her.
great. I like her.
I can't stand her.
Um,
I have no use
but
for that. I have no use for any of the people um Big Bang Theory.
I love that show. In fact, I'm
I
in the
watched
midst.
it when it was on, but man, yeah, no, I cannot stand that show anymore. I don't know why. Something just like totally burned me on that.
Hey, that happens with shows. But yeah, I'm in the midst of watching Young Sheldon right now, which is the spinoff, and like
Couldn't
Jim
pay me to watch
Parsons,
that.
huh?
You couldn't pay me to watch that.
I get it, but um, yeah, um, but yeah, because recently I got because HBO did the thing where they've rebranded the channel or whatever, and
Yeah.
so I've got my I was watching it through other means before that I'm not going to detail. But I recently got my own subscription to it through Amazon because like I've already got a Paramount Plus subscription and the AMC Plus subscription through Amazon. So whatever, I
Yeah.
just did that.
Gotcha.
But but yeah, I don't remember where I was going with that. Hey, that's no surprise. But whatever. What are you working on?
I'm trying to find I need a holster for my um old Dutch. That's the only
Uh,
piece I still need. And then the head. The head's in the mail, but I need a holster. And then I need to Dremel out this Predator helmet for the shoulder pad. And then I'll probably primer him today and start painting him. And then yeah, I've decided to do I haven't decided what I'm going to do with the Predator yet, but we'll see. I think I'm going to do an active camouflage, but I don't know.
um, after seeing Prey, and as well as they did with that, what would you think if they made more Predator movies that took place like they were different like that, different eras or different storyline, like not just more people in the future going to alien planets and getting hunted like that.
Like
I
the
think you
Alien
said,
one, yeah.
yeah,
I think that would be interesting. I would if they did it as well as they did Prey, I would see that. I would watch those. They've talked about doing a sequel to Prey, and it's like, you know what? It should be just a standalone. I don't think they need a second one. I think one just like don't beat a dead horse. I'm not saying it's dead horse, but don't overdo it. It was good. Just leave it alone. Do something else. That's like I keep saying with Star Trek. I'd like to see them do the next generation. Far enough in the future that it's where they can still kind of relate back to the next generation era, Voyager, DS9, every once in a while in an episode here and there, just to kind of tie everything together. But it's far enough in the future that it's its own thing.
yeah, yeah.
So I would, but then at the same time, we've got one that was set in the 80s, we've got one that was set in the 90s, we've got this one that was set in the 1700s. I don't know. I mean, where else do you shoehorn those in? We've got the one from 2018, the Shane Black movie, so it was kind of set in more modern times. So I don't know where you would shoehorn those in and have them be decent.
Yeah, because the Alien movies, I didn't see Prometheus and I didn't see Alien Covenant, but I've heard a lot of mixed reactions to those.
I saw
Um,
Prometheus. It wasn't bad.
um,
It wasn't
um,
what everybody wanted, which was a prequel to Alien.
and well, and then there was the follow. What was it? Alien Covenant.
Yeah, I didn't see
Was
that.
that
I didn't
was
see
yeah? Because I don't know if I don't know if that was more Prometheus or if it was more of a prequel to Alien. Not sure. Um, the one series that I'll watch no matter what they put out is Terminator. Um,
Yeah,
Terminator Dark Fate was a lengthy movie, and I've now seen it twice, and I'm not entirely certain what my feelings are on it.
I
James
didn't hate
Cameron
it.
said that that in his opinion it's the definitive sequel to Terminator 2, but that's because he wasn't involved with all the other Terminator movies, so I understand why in his mind he's discounting them. But I think the Terminator is simply a franchise that they can hit a lot of the same beats, but do it in a different way to keep it interesting.
Yeah,
They don't often try to cover brand new ground with it because sometimes when they do it,
doesn't work well.
yeah, because like Terminator Salvation, look, I love that movie. It's not perfect, but it's the only Terminator that takes place entirely in the future.
Is that the one with
That's
Christian Bale?
yeah.
Yeah,
Um yeah. I mean it's a great
I've seen
movie.
them all. I just don't remember which one is which because I've only seen like from Terminator 3 on, I've only seen the movies like once.
Um yeah, I it seems like I'm one of the few who likes Terminator 3.
I liked it. I thought it was good.
Um
I've seen
oh, see?
Terminator 3 a couple times, but from then on I've only seen
Yeah.
the rest of
See
them all.
there's yeah, it's okay. So there are a few of us that like Terminator 3. Um I like Terminator Salvation. I like Terminator Genesis. I see why it really didn't work all that well because it was supposed to be the first of a. It was supposed to be the first in a. I don't think it was supposed to be a trilogy, but a new
Like a
setting for the franchise.
like a
Like they were
reboot
sort of
kind of
what's up.
like a reboot.
Like a soft reboot. Like same idea, but we're gonna test out some different directions to go with it. But it worked, but not to the point where I think they wanted it to. But I really like it because I was watching it last week on I think it was Hulu. Like I was watching it for like the third or fourth time, and every time I watch it, I really like it. But
I'll have to watch it again. I don't remember that one at all now.
um, but yeah, the Terminator Dark Fate, that was the only one that I feel like it's very much a movie that was made in the era that we're living in now, and it's very reflective of that. And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but I don't know. I don't know that they need to keep making the movies the way they did that one. But kind of one of those franchises. I don't know where they go with it, but I know they're gonna keep making. They're gonna make more Terminator movies, just like they're gonna make more Predators eventually. But it's all a matter of they have to find a way to
Make it relevant and new, but still tie in at the same time.
yeah, and they have to make it so that the big so that the passionate fans about it, even if they don't love it, that they're satisfied by it, and they have to find a way to make it appeal to audiences that are not that they're not familiar, but maybe they haven't seen all of the other movies, which I think is what they were trying to do with Terminator Salvation, but I'm not entirely certain they went the right way with that. But and I'm not entirely certain that Terminator Genesis did any better, but I think I like it just as much for same. It's very nebulous.
Yeah, that's one of the ones that I still would like to do some more customs from too. I still want to do like a decent like battle damage Terminator. There's enough decent heads out there to use. It's on the to-do list, but it's pretty far down.
Yeah, that's reasonable.
Because usually it's either
But
there's enough decent parts to make a custom, but there's not a good head for it, or there's a good head for it, but there's not decent parts. So that's one where there's like a bunch of decent heads for them from like the third party guys, like Spartan and those guys, but there's not a lot of like decent figures for them. That I mean, that's one of the things that I absolutely hate about customizing is there's one buck. There's not a like a Schwarzenegger style buck, and there's not like a like overweight figure. I want like not like morbidly obese, but I'd like to make a good microchip to go with my Punisher custom. But there's not in like comic accurate. I don't want one from the Netflix series because that guy
well,
was
considering I still haven't gone back and watched the rest of those episodes because those first, yeah, because I take that back. I watched the fourth episode, and I'm at a point where I love John Bernthal as an actor, and I love him in that role, and I like the officers that are doing the event. I like all that stuff, but I'm so put off by the character of Micro that I just it's kind of one of those where it's on the verge of just overshadowing the things that I like because I'm just like I don't maybe if I knew for sure that the character was going to become tolerable, but I just right now I'm just like
yeah. No,
this
I see where you're coming from.
guy
I
is
think it's worth hanging
an
in there and
asshole.
watching the rest of it. The second season I had a hard time with for the same reason for the guy that played Jigsaw. They tried to do like this Silence of the Lamb thing and it didn't work.
Oh, that's interesting.
I didn't particularly enjoy the second season of Punisher.
Um, have you did you um well, I did see Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
Emily and I went to that maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, Ari and I went to go see it last week. Um, and I walked out and I'm like, that was such a better sequel than the second one. I didn't like Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. I liked Mantis and I liked her introduction and I liked all the stuff with the Guardians themselves. But Ego was a character that I loathed him so deeply that he's one that by the end of it, I'm just like, nope. All the goodwill that the movie builds up with the Guardians themselves, and it wasn't Kurt Russell's fault because he did really well. He played that part so well
Yeah.
that I just hate that character and everything about him. And so I've seen Guardians 4 or 5 times now, and I like it. I like Guardians Volume 2 very much when I watch it. but every time I'm in between rewatches, I just think now it's my least favorite. But that's because Ego is such a despicable character that it's hard to enjoy the movie as a whole while trying to ignore him. But
Yeah, I can see that.
I think while Micro isn't the same sort of despicable character, he's so off-putting that I'm just like, eh. But yeah, I do. I need to give it another go, and I need to keep watching it because damn it, John Barenthal is so fucking good.
It's worth finishing the first season for sure. I wouldn't recommend the second season at all. I mean, it was like the second season of Altered Carbon. It's the premise was good, but the execution was seriously lacking.
Um, the and if anybody's listening to this and you're into the King Kong, if you like the King Kong and the Godzilla crossover from 2021, I saw the trailer for the follow up to it, and well, Blake showed me because he's in all this stuff, but that looks good. It's the sequel to the crossover between the two, and holy shit, that looks good. That looks like fun.
What did I see the preview for that looks? Oh yeah. I saw the preview for this, and even Emily is gonna wants to go see it, and that is the latest Mission Impossible movie, which comes out in July.
Oh God, I am all about it. I
Holy
um
shit, that looks amazing. Even Emily's like, wow, that looks good. She hasn't seen any of the other ones yet. So
I
sit down and watch all of them. We're not I don't think we're gonna like binge them, but we're gonna sit down and watch all the Mission
yeah,
Impossible.
last month I finally watched Mission Impossible Fallout because it was the first one that I just outright missed in the theater, and then it just fell by the wayside once it was, so. But I finally watched that, and I was reminded again just how fucking good those movies are.
They are
Um,
fantastic.
and this one, and this just like this one just looks nuts, and this one is part one of a two-part Mission
Yeah.
Impossible movie,
I
and
think these are
I'm
going to be the last ones. I think that's why they're doing it. They're doing the Harry Potter thing and splitting the last movie into two movies because I think
and
this is going to be the last movies of the franchise, from my understanding.
maybe I mean it wouldn't be the first time that they've thought that because there was because I remember, was it the third movie or the fourth movie where Jeremy Renner's character was brought in
Yeah,
as a possible replacement for Ethan Hawke or
yeah,
for Ethan Hunt in case Tom Cruise didn't want to keep making them, but
yeah.
Tom Cruise decided, no, I'm just going to keep doing this. Um,
Hi, Alicito.
Hi, puppy. Um,
Were you outside? Hmm.
I'm surprised the other two haven't made an appearance at all.
Back door's open.
Ah,
They can go
okay.
outside, and it's nice for the first time in a long time here. So Izzy's
Oh
outside
yeah. So
barking.
they feel no need to go downstairs and see you. So
No, not when
um
there's not when they can be outside. And Alice is warm, so she must have just been coming from outside too.
and neither the cats must be sleeping because uh I saw Pandora when we first started doing the podcast, but I haven't seen Holly. They must be sleeping. They must be doing the cat thing. Um, but anyways, suppose we can stop this now. Maybe we'll do another recording next weekend because I know we can't make this thing regular, but because we're both busy and well, sometimes it's a patience thing, but
Yeah.
or it's a mindset to sit down and have something to say. But I really appreciate the listen,
We need to
guys.
get a guest on. I'd asked Lauren if she wanted to be on, but it sounds like she's too busy. So
She got a lot going on.
she's going to be at the Dallas Comic Con, and she's going to be here in Denver at the Fan Expo. So um, I have the card that I made for her, so I'm gonna give that to her when I see her there.
All right, cool.
I'm gonna try and do a couple of like pictures with her for the page,
um,
and I'll get a piece of art from her too. So
oh, definitely. Yeah, because I've got two of the pieces that because she drew. Well, first, she drew Nymphadora Tonks for me because she's my favorite Harry Potter character, and then she did Ambassador Kalar from Star Trek TNG. Because the Klingons are my favorites, and I really like Kalar. I am amused by the memes about uh, Worf's son Alexander just being forgotten about whenever it's
I've
convenient
seen
to
those.
forget about him. I I just think it's funny because his mother was Kalar, and she was a great character that I feel like was sent out at the wrong time. I think she should have stuck around for a while. And I'm not entirely certain what they tried to do with the kid idea, but it seems like the writers never quite knew what to do with him. So he'd show up and then he'd be gone, and then he'd show up. He showed up on Deep Space Nine a couple times during the war, and they didn't
Yeah,
quite know what to do with him. And then Picard comes along, and they don't even acknowledge him. And I'm just like, eh. um, but um, but yeah, um, yeah, she did. Yeah, she did those for me. So that's cool. Yeah, whatever art she does, you can get her autograph on it. But
yeah. I don't know what I'm gonna. I'll have to
and
decide.
yeah, I know we got to have KR back on the show. We
Yeah,
should
that
schedule.
was the other thing I was gonna say is we had talked about having him on for one of our spotlight shows, and that we never did a like we did the His Tank one with Chad, and then we did the Alley Viper one, but we never did another spotlight show. We talked about doing the Firefly.
Damn it, we need to get him on and do the Firefly episode. I forgot all about it. So, because that was supposed to, yeah, well,
We were
yeah,
supposed
because
to
then
do
the
that in
holidays
November,
came
and we
around
never
and that
did.
fucks everything up. So,
Yeah,
but yeah, damn it, we need to get KR on and we need to do our Firefly spotlight. We should do that next episode.
we can do that.
Yeah, but all right, folks, thanks for listening. It's always good to have our conversations like this. So,
Absolutely. All right. So, as always, please do that fun social media stuff. Like, share, subscribe, comment below, and stay tuned for more episodes from General Geekery. Thanks for watching.